Unbelievable. Muted microphone. It's going to be that kind of a DGA live. Hello. I can hear your mouth noises, Ben. I know your microphone's not muted, okay? That's
Dang
how
it.
good your microphone is. Oh, are we doing here, I want to look like you. Hang on.
Oh yeah.
That was probably quite the sound. All right, we're jumping right in because I don't have 5 minutes to do the traditional water cooler talk before I bring in Ben, and then we move on to the main thing because we actually have a guest who's more special than either of us and any of you waiting in the wings right now. Listen, we haven't done a test. Okay. I just texted this person. I sent them a link. I see them, so I think it's going to be okay. But is there a way that I could release myself from the responsibility of this going well?
Oh, I'm gonna cry if it doesn't work.
Or do we even have that expectation at this point after 3 years of doing these?
No, why would we?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. All right. Without further ado, let's bring in our favorite Kansas City disc golfer, Allie Smith. Hello, Allie.
Hi, how's it going?
It's just working.
Is it?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you and you're framed perfectly. You sound great. You look like you had a fantastic round, maybe a great shot or two this
Yeah.
morning. You've got that kind of glow.
Yeah, it was a great round. We got lucky today with the weather. Actually, only rained on a few holes, and same for MPO. They're making it through the whole round with no rain. It's been great.
So, where are you at in the world right now and what's going on with your life? Let's start. Bring us up to speed on what you've been doing this season, too, because we haven't had a chance to chat with you yet in
Right,
23.
right. So, I made the leap and decided to pause on teaching and join the pro tour. I was able to attain a tour card, and I'm on the road full time, going to all of the events, almost all of them. I'll miss a few for like 4th of July and like the one in Montana, but I've been at every event so far on the pro tour, and I plan to do so to kind of keep a tour card for next year.
Now, without spoiling it, because I want to get into some of your finishes so far this year, but when you started at the beginning of the year, this is your first year touring, right? So, I mean, like, what were your expectations, and did you have any goals when you started this new adventure?
Right. I played a few pro tour events last year and kind of knew where I landed. I was like middle to lower of the field, but like in the off season, I gained a ton of distance backhand and forehand really, and have found the discs that are working great for me. And I've really been able to throw better. So I was this year. My goal was to try to like hit last cash at every event. It's
Okay.
kind of been my goal just to get because it is 50% paying out for the pro tour. So, out of 50 of us, if I got 25th, I think that's a really good place to land. And in terms of like doing the math and like having a tour card, the top 40 women get a tour card. So if you're 25th place in every pro tour event, you should get that tour card in the end of it all. Um, and I have definitely surpassed that. I'll spoil it that one. I've definitely attained that goal of hitting cash every event, which everyone's been like, "Oh my gosh, that's crazy!" Yeah, and it really it's been an awesome ride. Like I am surpassing any other goals I maybe would have set. I didn't want to push myself too much because we are Mary's on tour full time with me, my full time caddy and a manager perhaps. We are still trying to do other things along the way. We're doing some vending for DGA, so we can talk about that as well. Um, so I didn't want to put too much pressure on myself to perform because I know with time and practice and just the what's that word? Um, Exposure, maybe the word is like more reps in those high pressure situations. I know that um, the strokes will fall off. If that makes sense.
So, there's a lot to talk about, but I mean, let's go into your top 10 that you just did. last event.
Yeah.
Tell us about that event and what that experience was like placing 10th at a pro tour.
Yeah, that's definitely like far and above. That's awesome. I was never anticipating a top 10 finish this season, so now I can adjust those goals. So I was at MCO Music City Open in Nashville, Tennessee, and after round 1 on hole 17, I took an 8. I threw OB 3 times in a row. I was like, man, tournament's kind of over for me. It's like, this isn't great, but I somehow was able to tie the hot round on round 2. I shot 3 down after shooting like up.
Okay, hang on. Because before we move on to round 2, I wanted to ask you, I kind of texted you about it that day. I think I said expletive all island holes or something because I was just seeing the scorecard. But I mean, you were like cruising. Like it was like birdie, 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 that hole birdie or something like that.
Yes,
on the last, like you were like closing it out and then that hole. And then I mentioned to you, like to get was it a quad or quintuple?
Quin plus 5.
But to go from a streak of birdies, that, and then to birdie the last hole, that's what I wanted to ask you about. How did you birdie hole 18 after that?
Oh, good. Great question. Great story. So 18 is original hole 2. Yes, hole 2. And so you have to throw this big, just like, it's a downhill shot, but you got to throw it at least 300 feet just straight over a canopy of like trees. And there's like a landing zone that's just like on a hill, really. From there, you're throwing an up shot, just kind of chipping your way up before you approach the green. And I had approached, and I was a little bit long on my approach shot. So everything was pretty standard, good drive, good first up shot. My forehand third shot is near the basket, but outside of the circle. And it's a ripping headwind. And I just take the plus 5. The girl who is a little bit behind me lays up to the basket. I have my putters. I have my 2 stone steadies in my hand. I walk back over to Mary. I don't say anything. I put them back in my bag, grab both of my DL breakers. I go to my lie, and I just slam it in. Because I'm just like, right? The round's over for me. I just took a plus 5. I'm sure everyone else in the field is shooting way better. Like, I don't think the course was like there was a lot of birdies to get on that course, but also a lot of danger. So I hit that birdie, and Mary's like, I had no idea you were going for it. I would have told you to lay up,
You're like, that's why I didn't tell you I was going for it.
Yeah, exactly. I just committed. In a headwind, I really do like to putt with the DL breaker. I think Rico helped me with that one when he first was like, I putt with breakers all the time. I was like, you're right. This is great. It's a great overstable putter, honestly. So yeah, I was able to make that birdie and then finish and was like, wow, I'm kind of in the middle of the pack here. I didn't do as bad as I thought I did. Like, I had 3 blow up holes on that one round, and the rest of the round and the other 2 rounds, I was cruising. I really executed my goal of like shooting clean those last 2 rounds, round 2 and 3.
And so then hot round 2.
Round 2. Yep, 3. I shoot 3 down. And again, I wasn't in the moment thinking like, oh, this is the hot round, or, oh, I'm shooting really well. It was just like, it's kind of raining and yucky out, and I'm just going to keep doing the thing. I just kept shooting the shot and didn't really make any mistakes. And I shot the hot round. Yeah, 3 down. It was great. And
then round 3, what was round 3 like for you?
Keep moving the camera. I'm sorry, it's so jostly. I'm holding it with my hand.
You're great.
Round 3, I shot even. Really was just like a mixture. I had a few bogeys, nothing really detrimental. I was really just trying to, if I'm in a tough spot, just pitch it up and take a par, or pitch it up and take a bogey. Trevor Harbault was like, if you're gonna take a high number, make that high number low. And so I've definitely taken that into consideration every single round. It's like a bogey is fine. You can move past that, but getting a double, a triple is going to be you're digging itself into some trouble from there. But so shot even, and again, I think I knew I was just like hovering around top 10. I didn't really check the scores in that aspect. I usually just know where I'm at. I was like, oh, I'm even, so I'm shooting pretty good. And I knew my card was doing well as also, so we were all kind of relatively tied. And again, step up to 18. I'm a lot closer this time. Deanne had missed her putt, and I knew that would have put her at least in a tie with me. And so I make my putt for birdie to boost me to solo 10 in the finish. It was crazy. I wasn't even aware that it was top 10. Like, Mary doesn't generally tell me those things. I don't need to add that much extra pressure. It's still a make the birdie. Like, that's the pressure that I need to have in my mind, not make the birdie because you'll be in top 10. Just make the birdie. So I make the birdie, and I turn to Mary, and she's like crying. She's like starting to, like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm in top 10.
Is it that bad?
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah.
What did I do? I thought I was fine.
Yeah, I thought it was great. It almost felt like winning Am Worlds, and I know that might sound facetious. Maybe that's not the right word, but I mean, Am Worlds I went into on a whim, not necessarily ready. Like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna win. Whereas now I'm like, I'm playing disc golf every weekend. Like, this is a big, step in my career, really.
But apples to apples, probably like the level of golf, that you were playing that weekend, you probably had to do something similar to get 10th. So I could imagine that there would be kind of similar feelings, to be 10th out of the world's best disc golfers at that event.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. My skill set is better now than it was, but we're professionals playing against professionals now. Different, world we're in now.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned how your game had elevated, and we've talked about you on the show. Ben and I have, when you've done well and just when we mention you. But now that you're here, we can say it to your face. Like, I still remember when you came over to my house and we were throwing discs around, and I said, what happened to your backhand this off season? Because dang, you're throwing 300-foot hellfires, like you could throw much further than that with different discs. But I'm like, wow, like the power increase on your backhand is nuts. Your putt has continued to get better and better. And then you've always had such clutch forehand and forehand approaches. So it's so cool to see your game, like the other parts of it, increase so that you become this really well-rounded pro. Is really exciting for us to watch too.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And that's exactly how I feel. I'm starting to see like the disc like glide. It's not just like, it's out and then on a hyzer. Like, it's actually like pushing on a hyzer. It's like I'm getting distance that I've never anticipated getting before. So yeah, definitely feeling well-rounded. I think thank you.
All right. Well, speaking of good shots, I've got a little video that I want to play here in case you missed it. Let me just play it like this, and then we'll be right back in 30 seconds.
Did that just go in the hole? It's in the hole! It's in the hole!
That's cool.
All right. That was from just a few hours ago during the opening round of the Blue Ridge Championship. Tell us about how that went down, Allie.
Oh, so great hole. It's a blind shot. It's pretty short, to maybe 50. I don't know. I didn't see that on the, what's it say?
225.
Bring this up here from your round today.
Yep, 225.
Yeah, it's a short one. It is from the tee pad. You gotta like shoot up a hill. Like you're just looking at like a grass hill, essentially, and you gotta get that disc over to the left. In the practice rounds, I've been throwing my Quake because, like I said, 225 short. But I've also been throwing the new Ava-LAUNCH. I've got a first flight Ava-LAUNCH. The Ava-LAUNCH is so overstable for me. So like getting left is really an easy, just throw it straight out there. Actually yesterday, Thursday in practice round, I threw my Ava-LAUNCH and it smashed the chains. And Mary goes,
Wow.
that's in the basket. Mary's like, that's in the basket. And we're like, no way. And we like run and we're like, oh, it didn't go in. It had like, it was right. It chained out. So
Oh,
then
no.
I threw the Quake and Quake was parked. And Mary's like, I think you're going to throw the Quake tomorrow, even though I, chained out with the Ava-LAUNCH. So I'm on the tee pad, and you can see it in the video. Like I drop the red, that's the Ava-LAUNCH. And
Okay, I was wondering what that was. You were making a decision right at the last second.
No, literally, yeah. I was just, which one do I want? So I went Quake. It's a first flight Quake. Threw it up. I turned around to, like, after I threw, to say something to somebody, and it's kind of a delayed chain hit. It hits, and Mary goes, yeah, is that in the hole? And I'm like, no, it's probably just somebody down there putting, right? I literally just went through this yesterday. Like, no, it's not an ace. and Chrissy Fountain's like, no, like, I think that's in. And Mary runs up, and she can see it. She's like, that's in. So then I run it down. I'm just like, that's crazy. It is awesome. So, like, that's my second ace ever, first tournament ace. It's, like, really cool that she even got that on camera.
Yeah, no, I saw. So the very first thing that when I opened UDisc Live today, it opened to yours because it's favorited, and you had just played that hole. So the very first thing I saw when I opened UDisc Live is a 1 right there, and I'm like, what is? I haven't seen that color before. What's a green? So I started texting Mary, and she, of course, sends me the video. I'm like, oh my gosh, you got video of it. That's incredible.
And it's probably super grainy because she sent it while on the course. Like the service isn't the best here. We're in the middle of the mountains, but like, yeah, wild that she got that.
They were chatting about it in the live comments. During the FPO live, you were quite a few groups ahead of the feature card, so they were like, yeah. Please tell me somebody got video of it, and I'm like, we have it.
Yeah, and we were Mary's kind of razzing the Pro Tour. They had just posted like a what was it?
Hokum.
Ace runs.
It
was just like, there's a bunch of ace runs today.
Yeah, I just commented on that, by the way. I said, and if you're Allie Smith, actual aces.
Yeah. but, I mean, there was a lot of ace runs, but I got the actual ace. So it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, Kelly said the same thing. Like, what is that green? Like, is that a really bad color? Like, your brain just kind of, oh wait, no, it's the good one.
No, it's the one. Yeah, and I mean, you can kind of see that jump starts my round. I par out and take 2 birdies after the ace, and usually it kind of is the detriment after you get that ace. The adrenaline's flowing, but it really helped me bring it back to even.
Yeah, so you went 4 under in your last 5 holes to get back to even par.
Yeah, it was great.
I wasn't playing
bad.
Yeah, 6 holes. Sorry, but yeah.
Good. The course kind of plays that way. It's like all the baskets are near either a mound or the water. So it's not like, it's tough. It's a good course. Like you saw, Kristen shot 9 down, but we're also seeing a lot of people shoot in the like +5s, +6s, where normally they're not in that lower echelon.
That's actually a good topic. I know on the Upshot, they've been talking a lot about how they're hoping Pro Tour will start to tailor courses more towards the women's field rather than like, oh, we'll give you an extra stroke and hope you figure it out. Did you feel like this course was well tuned for the average women's game?
I think that's a great question. I think so, because there are, the hole I aced was 225. There was at least 5, 6, 7 holes that are under 300 feet that are definitely gettable, but still require like a precision shot or skill to hit a gap. But it does have a handful of holes that are going to reward the top 25% who can throw 400 feet consistently and who can always hit their 30-footer. So I think there's only 1 hole that nobody birdied. I think overall it's a really good course. I think what is troubling is the location. Like they're low on volunteers because we're in the mountains. We're in the middle of nowhere. The closest town is Marion, is like 45 minutes away. Like it's a beautiful property. It's got 3 courses. I know MPO is playing rather tough right now for them. And they have a 3rd course that I think is even like quote unquote easier for it river run. So I really like, or yeah, river run. I really like Boulder that we're playing, and like I've talked to some MPO that are like, I wish we were playing that. But MPO, I think MPO would shred the course that we're playing. I think no problem.
Sure.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, that's good to hear that they've found a course in particular. This venue having 3 courses makes it easier for them to do that. Plus, you're not fighting with everyone else for practice time, so it's probably been easier to get your practice rounds in.
Exactly. It felt like nobody was on the course every practice round. That's exactly right. Mm-hmm.
Some people were pointing out in our Discord server, like, it's cool to see FPO throwing mids off of certain tee boxes, which your ace, you know, shows that very well. But like, we want to see a normal disc golf experience, which is, you know, not throwing max distance every single hole.
I had to use some arthritis cream, this Voltaren gel that I've been recommended. It's great.
Not sponsored.
No, not sponsored. But if you ever have some like small joint pain, you should check that out. Because all I was throwing at like Vegas and then not Waco, somewhere else, but I was just like throwing torrents and throwing hurricanes on every shot that my hand was literally bruised, not even blistered or calloused, just bruised. I couldn't like grip drivers because I'm not. So I think it was, I got in Austin, I got to Houston and I was like, I'm throwing a pipeline on almost every hole. I don't care if I'm sacrificing distance. I couldn't grip a torrent. I couldn't grip a hurricane at that point. So like exactly what you're saying, like coming out somewhere where I can throw mid ranges on tee shots. That's awesome. I hardly ever throw a mid range. It's usually just drivers for up shots and then your approach disc, like on the Pro Tour events. So yeah, I think it caters to the viewer and the player if we are able to make some more slower disc shots. I think it looks good from a viewer standpoint.
100%. So what's your game plan? I hate this question, but I also am really curious because, you know, like the rest of this event, is it what you said earlier, just try and focus on every shot, or are you playing this course more or less aggressively, or how do you approach that? Having a good round in round 1, how do you approach that, you know, leading into the next rounds?
Right. I mean, the ace really pushed me to make that a good round for me. I took a double on 1. The drop zone is tough there. I really am. I try to take each tournament just kind of hole by hole instead of trying to be like, oh, how do I climb 12 spots? I think I'm playing this course a lot safer because there is baskets perched on top of boulders that if your upshot is coming in from 250 feet, you got to really stick that landing zone or else you're going to be putting for birdie or a par at 45 feet. Like, I don't want to give myself 45 footers. I'm in the realm of like 15 footers. So if I'm just going to lay up for a par, that's fine. There is a lot of holes though I'm just attacking off the tee, which I think that's a lot easier to do than attacking from the second and third shots on this course. So really, if I shot even all 3 rounds, I would be stoked. I think that's an awesome score, but I know that my ability, like I can get a lot more birdies out here than just par. So.
It would be interesting to me to see like what would happen to your mindset after a couple more fun finishes, because where you started this year with 0 expectation, right? And you're like, I just want to cash. And you've done that easily so far. And, you know, maybe a couple. At what point are you like, hey, not only am I like worthy of being here, right? But like, I'm really good at this, you know, like maybe I'm a top 10 player instead of a cashing sort of player. Could you see that happening?
Yes. I mean, I think there's a fine line between like being, I don't even know what the opposite word of humble is, but like, you know, being humble about your abilities, but then also being Ben. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You don't want to be Ben.
Right. So like, I would not say that I am a top 10 player. I have skills in my arsenal that could make me a top 10 player. But I definitely think that I am better now than a top, 50%. Like I am better than last cash. And so now, yes, I definitely should have expectations of landing higher than that. But I think I have other things going on as well. Like we're vending for DGA at all the Pro Tour stops. So, having energy to also do that. Sometimes it's not like, you play it around, you exerted all your energy. You don't really want to go and sit, and it is, you got to do it and you got to push. And I've really enjoyed vending, but I think that having vending and disc golf, like playing disc golf, I'm not ready to put like player as like number one and like I am this top 10 player, because I have other things going on. But I do think vending is helping me become a better player. I know that sounds like ironic, like, oh, you're not putting or you're not doing anything in terms of disc golf, but like meeting new people, awesome. Meeting fans has been great. So like the morale boost of being like, oh, you follow me on Instagram. This is really cool that I'm meeting you in real life and I'm selling you a disc.
Well, and you're totally shredded now because lifting the boxes out of the camper and then onto the table, then back into the camper, just over and over,
Yeah, it's really cool to talk to people about DGA discs. I've really found that people want to know about us and want to know what we have to offer, because we do have basically something in every slot that could take a slot out of your bag. So it's really, really been a cool experience.
We're like a fungus, like the best kind. All right, I want to ask you about two things, and then we'll let you go. Thank you for just popping in here, by the way. Can we please make this a more regular occurrence, check-ins from the tour?
Friday check-in.
Yeah,
Friday tour check-in.
Mm-hmm.
At least once a month, maybe. And I've got one question, too.
Yes.
I just wanted to ask about Tour Series and avalanches. Can you tell us what you're seeing out there on tour, even not only Team DGA pros that you're seeing using them, but also fans you're talking to, who's liking what, yourself, your experience, and then also kind of all those same conversation points for the Avalanche, which we're launching a week from today, this Friday.
A week. Okay, great. Tour Series. So I got a shipment in a week ago or so and was able to vend at Music City Open. We only vended the Fly Marts. Because it's free. We don't have to pay to do that. So, I just had 5 of each one, and I sold at least 1 of each mold that night. So like, that's pretty crazy. And the weekend before, the event before, I'm trying to think, that wasn't Houston. The week before, we had people being like, where are the Tour Series? Do you have Tour Series yet? So people are wanting them and they want to support the players. I think that's the big thing I've noticed is they're like, do you have Cole's Pipeline? Like, no, not yet, but now I do. And I think Cole is in the lead. We've sold the most pipelines. So that has definitely been the go-to on. I am a small sample size again. I only had like 5 of them. I think we've sold 3 or 4 though on that first day. So we'll have to be getting some more of those. As for like throwing them, I think with the new Tour Series plastic, I think the runs have been a little more stable. I haven't thrown them all like a bunch of times, so don't take my exact word on that, but I think for the most part, the Tour Series, that swirl plastic is a little more overstable, nothing extreme, but I think in the sail and the pipeline, it is running a little more stable compared to a stock run. I've heard that the Quakes I know that they're puddle top. I've seen them almost just like puddle top board flat, but really overstable. Yeah, that is. The reflection, it looks crazy.
It is actually like it's board flat to just like a couple millimeters puddle top, and it's beef cake. And then you have kind of the opposite.
With the Hypercane. Is that the Hypercane or the yeah.
Uh-huh, yep.
You were talking about that, having more glide and more push than the Hypercane numbers really would show to do. And the Avalanche, that disc is so pretty. I think I've sold 12 already. Like, they're all coming out super swirly, usually a color combination, a 2 color combination. They're selling like hotcakes. People love the hand feel. There's no, I don't know, call it a bead or like a bead on the wing. There is none of that. So it is a very smooth hand feel. It's going to be awesome for those people who want to throw anything like on a flex, especially like a flex forehand, it will hold the torque, but it's gonna try to fight out and get real stable. What 9404, 9304? I don't remember what the exact numbers are.
Not. Oh man, you would test me. It's
9304.
9304. I was saying 9403. 9304.
And I think that 3 is an accurate glide number because it is board flat as well. Nope, I haven't seen any with a puddle, but they're just like board flat and they don't want to glide very much at all. So yeah.
It's so beefy.
Yes.
So we're going to be selling them on discgolf.com, and they will be at local retailers this coming Friday, April 21st. That is the Ava-LAUNCH date.
A launch date. Love that.
No one else does, but I keep saying it. I'm just really trying to make that like our official, but it's not going anywhere, but I'll keep working on it.
You should keep it.
But until then, if someone is looking to get an Ava-LAUNCH, you are currently the only outlet and have been for about a week. So tell people, remind people who are just joining us where you're at and how they can get their hands on one before the official launch date.
Yeah, I realized that. I got him from KG, and then he's like, yeah, and you're good to sell the rest after you get them to the pros. And I was like, wait, no one else has them yet. So, like, I've had a few people that are like, hey, can I come get some from you? And I'm like, yeah. So I'm currently in, I guess it's technically Marion, North Carolina. North Carolina, not South. We're at North Cove at the Blue Ridge Championships Silver Series, and we'll be vending tonight. I'm sure Mary's probably in the comments while setting it up right now. There's like trivia it's at North Cove. They have like a bar and restaurant. So inside there, all the players are vending, and they're going to do some trivia starting at 7 p.m. our time,
nice.
Which is in an hour and a half. So, yeah.
And will you guys be at Champions Cup?
We will be at Champions Cup. It is a PDGA event because it's a major, and no player vending for that. But at every other Pro Tour stop that we are at, which just means I'm missing the Preserve and Zootown, we'll be vending every Fly Mart there. So anywhere on tour, be sure to check us out. Disc Golf Alley.
I was going to say thank you. Please, everyone, go follow at Disc Golf Alley on social media. Thank you for coming on, Allie. And again, we got to do this more often. Great job today.
Appreciate it.
Awesome round, awesome shot, and good luck with the rest of the event. Oh, wait. Sorry, Ben. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Ben had a question.
Yeah. I have two now because I thought of another one. So did you know that you're top 5 in one statistic for DGPT thus far?
Whoa.
I did not.
Should we let the chat guess?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
so while the
think through.
Yeah, while the chat and Allie is guessing, maybe. And if they were clever, they would go look it up because I put the link in there earlier. But
Circle
the other
putting.
question I had was you were on Jomez. I don't know that we talked about that.
Yes,
yet.
thank you. I wanted to mention that.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen it yet, it was MCO at least round 2. Was it also round 3?
Just round 2. Yep.
Just round 2.
Madison.
Okay,
Yeah, Madison had, I think, family in town, or she had something come up, and she had messaged me and was like, "Hey, I know it's last minute, but are you available?" It was like an hour and a half before film time. And I think a few other ladies had been asked, but I just happened to be the one closest and available. And I was like, yep, I would love to do that. And I would love to do more commentary. So I got to do commentary with Erica for round 2 at Music City Open on Jomez. So go check that out. It was a lot of fun. It's fast paced. We're literally just watching the Jomez video and talking over.
You crushed it. You absolutely crushed it. I've never seen when you have an established commentary duo and then you have someone sub in, I've never seen the comments be just like 100% positive. And everybody was like, "Oh, Miss Madison, Allie killed it." Like, you have such a good voice for it. You're so knowledgeable about it, and you're so good at that sort of play-by-play commentary in general.
Well, thank you. I had a great time. Erica, like right after we stopped, she said, "Don't read the comments." It's like, oh, I was like, I'm sure people are gonna,
Wait,
whatever. You
why
say
would she
what?
say that to you right when you finished recording the commentary? You're like, wow, I was that bad, I guess.
I know her and Hunter both were like, "You did a great job. That was awesome. Like that was so smooth." But I felt like there was not a lot of dead air time. It was like she would talk, and then I would talk, then she would talk, and I mean, sure, you stumble on a few words, but yeah, I was thrilled to do it. I love to do it. I'm on their list for any other time they need a substitute or want to take a day off. So I should be in the Jomez commentary booth at least one more time this season. Fingers crossed for that.
That'd be awesome. I mean, again, like you just jumping in first time on such a big stage, and you presented as somebody who's done that for years, which I was blown away by.
Thank you.
All right, Ben, you got one more?
Was that? Oh, well, I guess that was his two.
Yeah, that was
What's
the answer to the stat that you're fourth in.
Wow.
Was fairway hits.
Nice. Let's go.
Pretty good.
73% in fairway hits through 5 events thus far.
Wait, where's Katrina? I think next time you hang out with Kat, if she's not higher than you, you're like, I guess they call you the fairway princess, but I'm the fairway queen now. You can use that line if you want. I think she would really appreciate that as well.
Oh my gosh. No.
Fair enough. Oh man. All right,
That's
Allie
cool.
Smith.
Well, thank you.
You're awesome. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming on.
Glad I could be here. Bye, everyone.
Bye. That was at Disc Golf Alley. Always a pleasure. Man, I wish she was the host of this show. I almost said, I wish she was my co-host, but then I just skipped right to like
the host. It'll be just me and Allie.
Yeah, let's cut out the real problem, you know?
Oh, you'll just be the producer. And Allie and I will talk, and you'll just produce everything.
I'm just switching. Yeah, I'm just switching screens, but you guys can provide the expert analysis.
Yeah, populating the chat and posting links and fact checking and correcting.
What do you guys think, though? Let us know, because I don't care what you say in the comments, by the way. That's just a trick to encourage engagement. But should we have Allie back on? The answer is yes. I think we should. I like that once a month idea.
Right. Oh, dang it.
You remember a new one? You got another thing?
Yeah. They've been doing something. They've been doing something on the Upshot where they rate each course from a viewer perspective, but I would love to hear particularly an FPO player's perspective on each course and rate it just, I don't know, 1 to 10.
Yeah. Don't and Cat just went. Yeah, there you go, Doc. Big yes from Ed. I think so as well. It'd be awesome as often as we can get her on, especially when stuff when it's topical, you know, especially when there's something happening or a big event going on, or she crushes around or something. It'd be awesome to get her back on here. All right, Ben.
For a second, that was an arthritis cream joke. Because arthritis cream is topical.
Yeah, topical. It's a topical guest. And we're sponsored by a topical arthritis cream.
We'll be back in 15 seconds.
All right, Ben, we have a lot of disc things. As everyone knows, we released the Tour Series last week. And then on its heels, we have the First Flight Ava-LAUNCH dropping this coming Friday. So everyone's been very patient, even the people who haven't been patient. Thank you for your patience. Obviously, we're trying to get them all out as fast as we can. But the wait is over because Tour Series is out there. The Pipeline, Quake, Sail, Hurricane, Hypercane, and Bonsai. And we've got the Ava-LAUNCH dropping 7 days from now. Less than that, technically.
We're at the base of the mountain, and we just heard the rumble. The avalanche is coming.
That's great, Ben. I like how you did that.
My alliteration.
Yeah, highly symbolic. Oh, speaking of symbolism, hang on, I want to show you something.
Should I do a soliloquy next?
Yeah, that would probably be a good idea. I can't imagine
Yeah,
any
except
reason why it wouldn't be a good idea.
I feel like soliloquies are more your category than
Yeah. All right, check this out.
mine.
Wow, that was awesome. Let's watch that again. Now listen, before we watch it again, I want you to pay attention to the symbolism, okay? Because I'm an artist, so I know I can put some stuff out there that's kind of wild and maybe hard to understand like at face value, but I want you guys to know there's kind of a double meaning here, which is why I kind of packaged it the way I did. So see if you can pick up on it as we move into the second showing here. Were you able to pick up on it at all?
Yeah, there's at least 3 avalanches in that cutscene.
Exactly. Yeah. So what I wanted to
A thravalanche.
Yeah, Kevin's got 3 avalanches. Exactly. That's what I was going for. See, I wanted the mountain, the avalanche to reveal the disc.
Mm-hmm.
And then actually, after I dropped that video into the office chat, one of my coworkers let me know that it's actually kind of wild because if you look at the disc, it's got the word avalanche on it, even, which I wasn't aware of when I made the video. So that just, now all of a sudden it's crazy.
So does that meaning that the avalanche is at least 3 times better than the disc you used to throw in that slot? Since there was 3 avalanches in the ad.
I'm not a numbers guy. Okay. Plus, it's almost the
thought you-
weekend. So you just tell me the answer to all the number things. And I'm the artist.
No,
Okay.
yes.
I make the
Yes.
highly symbolic art pieces like the, hang on, let me show you.
No money back.
Okay, so that, wait, what? Were you narrating? Were you doing the traditional commercial?
Yeah, did nobody hear that?
No.
I even put on my narrator voice.
You can save 15% or more on car insurance and get yourself a DGA First Flight ProLine Avalanche at discgolf.com on April 21st.
It's guaranteed to be 3 times better than the disc you threw in that slot, or no money returned.
Oh, I see what you're trying to take some other discs out of people's bags and put in an avalanche. You're kind of sliding. There's some symbolism. This avalanche is sliding in to some other people's
avalancing.
bags.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's knocking other discs out of your bag, just like a true snow avalanche knocks other snow particles down the mountain.
And kills you. Avalanche is good,
Well-
right? I mean, it's good, right? Like it's just
If,
empirically good in a vacuum, objectively, subjectively, injectively. It's just a good pun to talk about launching an avalanche.
If you want us to continue using the avalanche terminology, please go like this stream to
Yeah.
show your support for
Yeah.
Tyler's marketing genii.
Prowess. Yeah, and W in the chat as well. W's in the chat for the avalanche that's happening this Friday. Here's the thing. We're never going to be able to use avalanche again. Maybe, I guess, if we make a video throwing it, we could say avalanche. but it's more applicable for the launch of the disc.
Ooh, Zach, that's a good one. Did you get that one yet, Tyler? With the
What is-
Ava-LAUNCH, you can
Wait, I
bury
missed
the
it. Show it
competition.
again. I missed it. Show it again.
There it is.
Oh, that's a great one, Zach. I love that you can bury the competition. It's so violent, but like it's like a cute little marketing slogan. But when you really think about what you're saying, big W.
Does Disc Golf Luke still have some snow? Can we have him shovel snow onto his competition like mid-tournament round and then and then
Yeah,
throw an avalanche?
Who do we know in Michigan with a snow plow? It's avalanching the beep out of your bag. Got him.
That would totally be in line with our marvelous marketing schemes.
Mm-hmm.
I did have one other thought, which we can maybe hit on next week too, but the flight numbers are 9304. I think that's definitely like AnyDisc will be your brand new flight. I can definitely see them beating into a 9403 flight.
So just switch those.
Yeah, I could see that after you throw them for a little while, that they'll beat in a little.
So
get more glide.
Okay, I was going to say, so you're saying the glide will increase, which I guess that makes sense. That happens to most discs as they beat in, and then the fade decreases.
Yep.
Okay.
Which is kind of nice for a disc in that slot. Like it's very reliable, dependable. You won't have to chase a bougie run or a unique run. Like, oh, I need a second run, fourth run avalanche for my bag. It's like, well, they all start out kind of beefy, and then you beat one in, and then they fly more and more amazing the longer you throw one.
Yeah. Doc, I love that video idea. It was pretty funny yesterday. I was working on this when my kids got home from school, and my 6-year-old came down and he watched the video, which in case you missed it, we'll show it again here in a second. But he watched the video of the avalanche, and then he looked at me like, "What did you do today while I was at school?" And he said, "Dad, did you like go to a mountain to make that video today?" I said, "No, idiot. It's called CGI. Crack a book about VFX." I didn't say that to him. I don't call my kids idiots. Anyway, this was the video in question. What do you think? I guess it doesn't auto restart from the beginning, so we just kind of caught the end of it. Hang on.
It is.
Wow, that's a great video. You want to see the second half of it?
Yeah, let me see it.
Okay.
I haven't watched it.
Here's where it gets really good. You got to pay attention. Yeah, because the snow and then the date. Yeah, it's great. All right. Thanks for watching. I think we're going to shut down a few minutes early, but don't forget, you can go to discgolf.com or your local retailer to buy Tour Series discs right now. Reviews of them are starting to pop into the DGA All Day Facebook page and our Discord channel. Which, are we at 150? We're going to be giving away, we're at 133. So we need like 17 more people. And we're going to be giving away a disc.
Oh,
you can find
one
that
of my
at discgolf.com/discord.
One of my Instagram followers was asking me about which Tour Series disc would I recommend. Brad Patera, otherwise known as Pterodactyl on Instagram, and I'm just looking at my Instagram messages, and he sent me a picture of it absolutely parked next to what looks like a Mach 5. Whoops.
Whoa, nice.
And then the text below that says, yep, definitely bagging it and laser straight for 320. That's
what disc was it?
But, yeah. Oh, it's a pipeline.
Okay. They will do that. I took all 6 of these out yesterday. never ended up posting that video, but last year I did like a which Tour Series disc is best, just based on one throw, and just kind of throw them all. So I'm going to do that again. Throw them all at a basket here in the yard and see which ones slow the Discord down. No, 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 no. Poor Zach.
Come on, Zach. We got to do another giveaway. So the sooner we get this one done, then the sooner we can get to the next one.
Zach doesn't want us to do giveaways. He wants us to do getaways.
Okay, yeah. We'll every time we cross a new member threshold, a member has to give a disc to you or me.
No, we cull. You know, like every time we get a new member threshold, then we delete 50 of the least active users. Just block them from the Discord. That's what Zach would prefer, I think.
Yeah.
Sorry. We're reaching new heights. That's with Zach. Well, we made a slow mode channel for you guys. Come on. Let me work, guys. Let me market. Grow the brand. Come on, we got to get the word out there. We got to let all the people know about all this amazing stuff that DGA has. We can't hoard it. We can't keep all this amazing stuff to ourselves. We got to let the world know. Tell me I'm wrong. All right. Thanks for watching. We will be here next Friday. DGA is the title sponsor of the Santa Cruz Masters Cup. Maybe some of you have heard of it. And this week coming up is the Am Week. So most of my coworkers will be up at De La Viega setting up tents and booths and whatnot. So I'll probably be answering phones and shipping out baskets and discs here from my house. And then a few weeks from now, I will be at the Masters Cup with this guy.
Yep, you got it, folks. I will be at Santa Cruz Masters Cup for 2023. I'm very excited. Gonna get to visit the warehouse. Hey, look, Ed will be there at Am Weekend next week. That's awesome.
Hey, Ed, would you please leave something at HQ that me and Ben can hunt for while we're there? A little Easter egg.
Easter disc hunt.
Mm-hmm. Just put it under something and leave some clues. Maybe do a full scale like a scavenger hunt for us.
I like it.
You don't have to. Yeah, so we'll have a lot of content coming, obviously, but I don't know. I was trying to think of what the lives will look like. We'll probably be here next week, maybe the next 2 weeks, but then we'll be doing some live streams from California. So it might get interrupted here shortly, but it's going to be a busy and fun few weeks. All right, everyone. Thank you again for watching. My name is Tyler Brickley.
I'm Ben Sorensen, and we want you to throw DGA discs
at DGA baskets, or we will find you. We will bury you with an avalanche, which launched this Friday. The Ava-LAUNCH is Friday, April 21st. Bye. See you next time.
Oh, Trevor almost just threw that in. Trevor Harbolt just bounced a